it's Chris Live, and this is a walkthrough on how to build your online store. So, any type of e commerce store for all kinds of products, and anything you really want to sell through a store type setup. All right, so if you've already watched our class on the website builder, this is going to be an extension of that because all of the elements are generally the same. However, for this purpose, you're building a store. All right, so let's hop right into it. We're going to go down to sites and we're going to head to stores. Now, keep this in mind. You can put any store you have onto a website of your choosing. So let's say, for example, you have a digital product store and you want to create a website that's just for that digital product store, but then maybe you also want to offer those digital products on your main website. You can create the digital product store and put it on whatever website you want, or the store can stand alone. All right, so let's jump into it. I'm going to start with just creating a new store. And let's do it from template just to make our life easier. As you can see, we have a few e-commerce store templates that you can certainly start to make your own. I love working from a template because then all I have to do is customize it. But of course, you can do this from scratch. So I'm going to pick, let me just do the store blueprint, right? Because this will work for anything. So we'll choose this template. And like I said, I recommend working from a template because it at least gives you the setup, and you don't have a blank canvas, and it's a little easier to customize what you're looking for. So I just picked any store template. The blank one is probably the best case since you can just take it and go from there. So now you got your store elements. Got a little bit of everything. So you've got the name. You would edit this menu just like you do any other menu. You can put your business name in there. You can put a logo in there. Change the heading photo. So let's say we want to make this, let's just make this cuter. Let's look for a picture on Unsplash for shopping. Okay, let's say we're going with apparel. I'm just going to pick this one. Boom. Let's say shop our shirts. Make this a different color. And let's add a little razzle dazzle to the text itself. So let's add a text shadow. See how it makes it pop just a little bit. I want to make that blur a little more. And then I want to make the color a little like brighter. So I'm going to bring that up to like a white shadow. Okay. Now we've got our little headliner there. You've got your search bar that already just is going to allow people to search through items on your site. And then it'll show you a preview of the setup. So it will list your products just like a store. They'll be able to search through it. Now, you will always see placeholder products in here. It will not show the products that are actually in your site. But to see what that looks like, you'll want to just preview the site itself, and the products that you have turned on for your online store will show up. Now, there's a couple things you need to know. As far as the builder is concerned, making the page look like you want it to, the same principles from the website builder still apply, right? But for this, we've got a couple of different sections. So on your, excuse me, not your layers, but your pages of your store, there's a product list page. This is the page that we're on now. This is going to be what you would think of as your shop all page, right? With everything on there. Then you'll have the product detail pages. So when somebody clicks this page, this item, what shows up for them? And that page looks like this. So I don't save any. Oh, actually, let me save my little changes here. And once you connect the domain, don't forget you have to publish it. Save and publish. Save and publish. Let me do it again. Save and publish. And the publish button only works once you connect your domain. If you haven't connected a domain yet, saving it is just fine. It'll save the changes, and once you connect your domain to the store, it will you'll need to publish them going forward. All right, so let's look at the different pages of the store. Next is the product details, like I said. So this is what comes up once somebody clicks the product itself. So if you want any other type of banner on top of there, I like to keep this page simple because, again, if I click a product, I'm just expecting to find out more about the product. And then all of the details show up. So the pictures, the description, the price, the reviews, all based on what you want to show. So if you click your box, right, this is your product box. you can choose what shows, right? You can show add to cart, show buy now, show the description, show related products. You can kind of choose that user experience now. So if I take off the buy now option. So buy now, if they click buy now, it's gonna bypass the cart. It's gonna put it right into the checkout system. Whatever your preference is. You can show the add to cart or the only buy now, all the above, right? And then you see right here, there's a prompt to manage the products right from here. If you click that, it'll open up in a new tab for you, which is helpful. But you can manage your product list right in here. So your product list may be a little more extensive or may not have anything yet, but the products that will show up in your store will be in your product section. When you make products, it doesn't have to show up in your online store. The difference is when you create the product, if you want it to be in your online store, you just need to toggle that on. So I'm going to make sure for all my test products in this demo account that I do have the include an online store option turned on, so that when we preview our store, there's something in it, right? So here's another product. That one's already on. Cool. We'll try this test product. We're going to include that. We'll save that. Now, this demo account doesn't have a payment processor attached to it, so it's going to look a little different when we go to view it and preview it, but your account should have your payment processor attached, and so you can test it and really get the full checkout experience on test mode with a test card, so you can see what your users and your customers will see. Okay, so we got our products turned on. Now this is our product page for when people select a single product and want to look at it. You also have the recommended products underneath. You can also turn that off and on. Same for the reviews, right? All right, so that's the product page itself. The other page is the cart page. So once people, I don't think I changed anything. Once people put items in their cart, when they click view cart, this is what they'll see. And again, we're viewing this in the editor in a second. I'm going to go through on the public side. Okay, so the cart, let's say we had two things in the cart. This is what it's going to look like with the total, checkout button, and a simple footer. So not too much here, but again, you can design this out to look however you want. So that's your checkout page. And then there's a page for each step. So that's the cart page, excuse me, and then your checkout page. And also, if you don't start from a template, if you do blank, it will automatically add all of these pages. You'll just need to design them, right? So now on your checkout page, it's going to collect their info, their name, their email, their address, their billing information, any notes they might want to add. You can customize all of what shows up here. And then, of course, the payment information. And it has like a space for discounts or the card itself right here. So that works out good. Now, when you have this element, because remember, we got section, rows, column, element. The element is the shopping element, and you can customize this however you like, right? Um, in more ways than one. So you got the text options, you've got the form options, you've got the address options, and you got some styling options as well. So all right, so you've got your element panel and your editing panel, and in that element panel, you can edit this element. So this is your checkout page. This is where people put in their payment info, and that is super important. All right, so the next page, and I think this is the last page, yes, is the thank you page. So this is your confirmation page, what people see once they check out. Now, this page is important because you want any information about delivery to show up on here and contacting you on here. So the standard information is obviously going to be like the order confirmation, but anything particular to your business, you'll want to add here if you know, required or necessary. So this is what shows up generally. And again, this is from the template. So I think this is a nice clean template that you can customize from here. Now, say you want anything extra down here about your business, how to contact you guys, you can add all of that to the footer that will show up on every page, or right within this section on the thank you page, like check your email for updates or all kinds of stuff. And you can add any element here. You can simply add some text, a headline, a form, a button, you know, really whatever you'd like. So you can do that there, and that's your thank you page for the site. So just to go over it again, you've got your products list. This is like your shop all page. The product details, what happens when somebody clicks the product to view more about it. The cart, the checkout, and the thank you page. Cart, all the items they want to buy. Checkout, they buying it. And thank you, the confirmation of their purchase. So let's take a look at the site in its entirety. So now your home page will function same like any other homepage on a website, right? Straight up information, maybe some feature collection, right? So like this is what they would land on. They hit shop now, we'll go to like the shop all page, and then you can shop by collection. So your homepage you can design out and just kind of draw them in and get them moving around. Or a lot of people like to have people land right on the product list. So it's a preference thing. And then you've got your contact us page. So homepage, like a landing page for them to just get used to the information and get shopping around. Contact us, simply that, information about contact. And you got your products list, shop all, details, cart, checkout. Thank you. All right, so let's take a look at this store all together now. Okay, so this is my store. You put your logo there. You can edit your collections. Everything looks good. Let me just show you kind of how it works. So that products list is that whole list. That shop all kind of page, right? See, we changed our little picture here. We got the shop items. Now, instead of those placeholder items that we saw when we were editing, we see all of the four little test products I have here. So let's see. Here go my little 4 products. And then they're all here. So it's important to add a picture so it looks really good. And then a description is good. So let's click one. And this is that product page we talked about. So when this opens up, this is the product page we looked at. All right, so if we had a description, it would show up and all of the details here, but that looks good. Any reviews would be there, etc. So let's say we want to add that to the cart. Now my little cart pops off on the side, but let's do the view cart page because we looked at that too. Okay, so we want to go view our cart. Let's give it a second because again, this isn't connected to a domain, so it's kind of like, what you want now? Okay, so now we got our cart. We got our one product in the cart. Looks good, just how we set it up. And then we want to check our checkout page. All right, so this is what our checkout page looks like, just like we want. My one product, all the info I need, and of course, no payment method set up yet, but that's totally okay. So those are the main pages. Now let's take a look at this thank you page, but we're just going to preview it since we can't flow through it without the payment processor. All right, so this is what it would look like, but it would have details about a real order. But that is it. So this is the gist, right? This is the gist of your store. You've got your 5 pages really, your products, your product details, your cart, your checkout, and your thank you. But then you have any additional pages that you want to add that you can add for any reason whatsoever. Feel free to get creative with your store. Now, when it comes to sharing your store, you will want to connect a domain. So if you don't want to buy a separate domain from the main one you use, I recommend a subdomain. So something like shop.yourmaindomain.com. So if let's say you're ABC Plumbing, it'll be like shop.abcplumbing.com or store.abcplumbing.com, and that will take people straight to it. If you have any questions about connecting the domain to the store itself, it's in your settings, and then you'll add a domain. You can either purchase or connect one. So if there's none in your system already that you could do a sub account for, you can connect one you have. Or if you need to buy one, you can get one from us. And if you need help, certainly reach out to us. We're here to help. And that's pretty much it, guys. So let's just see here. So like if you had another website, like if I'm working and I'm just testing one of these, right? If I wanted to add a store to this site, I certainly can. So if I'm editing this website, this main website, and I want to add a store function to the website, I can do that by, let this load up for a second, by adding elements and then going to store. Then I can add to the site. And it's going to pull in all of those pages that we talked about. So checkout, products, all the above. and it does automatically pull any products that you have in your product list that have that online store thing toggled on. You can kind of customize that as needed. So keep that in mind. But it will do the same thing. It's basically going to rinse and repeat the store we just worked on, but in some very basic setup elements. So this is kind of what it would look like if you didn't use a template. You just wanted to add those store components to an existing website. All right. So remember, this is an existing website. So there are already pages here. So all of the different pages that belong to the website itself. Now you've added, excuse me, pages. Now you've added store pages to the site. So these were our main pages that we started with, and now we have store pages. This is just going to add into a very basic formula. You see, it doesn't look much like the other template we use, but it is the same element. So you can take that store, add it to an existing website, or excuse me, take the store function, add it to an existing website, and you're good to go. Now, if you look at this, you'll see it's a little different, but it will show the products that we have queued up for the store. All right, now because this is in your main website already, if you wanted to add sections to your website or to the store part of the website that are already a part of the main website, I would suggest using your global sections, save sections, global sections, and then like the header would be the same as it is on the home page or the footer, etc. So you don't have to necessarily do all of that, but now that you have a store, the elements will update in the menu. So like you'll have a checking, like a cart button and all of that kind of stuff. So, all right, I said 15 minutes. I'm pushing 18. Boom. We know how to add a store to an existing website or create a new store from scratch. If you need to manage the products in the store, that shows up when you click the store. Now you see, because I created a store in that other website, it shows up in my store tab, FYI. But if I click it, I got my details. On my product page, I can decide whether or not to include those products, okay? All right. I feel like that's a bit much for this one episode, but I think that was good. So now you have just about everything you need to start a new online store. The only thing you need to do. Hey, so as I was editing this, I realized I forgot something, and I mentioned something about collections when I went over the homepage, but I didn't tell you how they work. So you have to set up your collections in the products area. So you don't have to use a collection, let me just say that, but if you do want that option, it does have to be set up in the products area. So let me show you how to do that. So we'll come out of the homepage editor if that's where you were, but we need to go over to our products. And that's going to be in payments and in products. Now we have an option for collections. And if you select that, it'll open up the collections tab. And you see right now, we don't have any collections, so that wouldn't work. But this is how you create one. Choosing either button. And then let's just say t-shirts. And you can select an image for it to represent it. You might want to do that. That way it will show up in the website builder. So when you create the collection, if there's no image, that it's just going to be a blank square. But you might like that. Just depends on your style. And then you can give it an SEO title. Again, this is for your search engine optimization. And so we'll add this collection. And then you can edit it if you need to. And so you create the collection, and then you need to add products to the collection. So let's just add another one. So we've got two just, for the heck of it. Now we're going to go back to our products. And then we need to edit the products that we already have. But as you go forward, you can put new products into whatever collection you like. And so you're just going to scroll down to product collection and put it in there. You can put it in more than one. For this example, I'm just going to put it in both so we can see it in multiple ways. So we'll save that, and we're good with that. Let's just do this one. Scroll down, add it to the collection. We'll just put that one in one. And let's just do one more for good measure. Another one. And we'll put this one and that one. All right. So we'll save our collections and come on back to our site. So we're going to go down to sites, go back to our store. We were working in the store blueprint and we were on the home page. So we're going to edit that in a new tab. And the reason I edited a new tab is in case I need to go back to the product editor without, coming out of the website editor. We're going to scroll down to our collection. Now, we're going to choose which collection we want to show. You don't have to do all three because we got two. So we'll do two. And then we'll choose which one. And you see once I choose a selection, it'll show, if there's no picture, you see it'll just be the button. Okay. Make this bigger. So this headline is making these words bigger or smaller. You can change the font and the outline and all of that kind of stuff. All right, so let's talk featured products. And this is a section you can use to highlight any sale products or most popular items. You can use featured products for a few different reasons. You'll just need to go through each featured item showed and select which product you want to show there. So this is why it's important to use pictures on your product so that it looks nice when you use things like this. And when people click it to find out more information, you can do 3 or more products here. You can really fill out this section any way you like. And you can use this section in multiple different areas throughout the site. So you can add a featured products area to many different sections. All right, so that is collections and featured products. I just wanted to add that in there really quickly. And you are off to the races. So go make a beautiful store, sell some amazing products to some amazing people. Until next time, be visionary.